Now, one person we did hear from today for the first time, Karen Read herself, doubling down, of course, saying she did not do this. She wants to know who did.
Said it feels we're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
Yes, we do.
And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't do it. This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
I tried to save his life.
Yeah.
I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in the only one trying to save his life.
Why'd you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that. Nothing close to that. And you should know that.
That was like 3 or 4 times she admitted to it.
No, she didn't.
That's not true.
She asked a question. She asked a question, which is very different. She didn't admit to anything.
You are listening to the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, putting the true back in true crime. From New York City, Roberta Glass is now on the record.
Okay, here we go. Wanted to talk to you guys today about Nathan Read, Karen Read's brother. Now, video clip has come out with him, Nathan Read. I'm talking about Karen Read's brother, publicly questioning Karen Read's defense narrative, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that in these innocence fraud campaigns, the family member that isn't speaking, that isn't on camera, that you don't see, that's the person you need to talk to and you need to hear from. Because so often these families are split, and the person that isn't talking knows a whole lot and isn't on board. What comes to mind in the dozens of cases I've covered on my podcast since its inception is the case of Officer Daniel Faulkner's killer, Mumia Abu Jamal, and his brother. Let's just show you. 1 second. Let me just pull it up. No, you're not familiar with this case, but it's extremely pertinent to what we're talking about here today. And pretty much in every case, I'm just bringing this up as an example, pretty much in every case, innocence fraud case that I talk about, there is this dynamic of a family member or 2 or 3. In this case, where is Karen Read's sister, Elizabeth? No one's seen or heard from her. She's like a phantom. Didn't go to the trial, doesn't come to the hearings. Never seen Elizabeth. Where is she? Caitlin Read, similarly, Nathan Read's wife. Why isn't she talking? So let me just share the details. So this happened December 9th, 1981 in Philadelphia, close to the intersection of 13th and Locust Street in Philadelphia. Daniel Faulkner conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle belonging to and driven by William Cook. So originally Wesley Cook was Mumia Abu Jamal's name before he changed his name. He was also involved with the Black Panthers and was very worshipful, wrote very, praised highly the cult move. So if you know anything about the history of Philadelphia, you'll know about the move organization. Abu Jamal's, okay, so going back, Daniel Faulkner conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle belonging to and driven by William Cook, Abu Jamal's younger brother. Faulkner and Cook became engaged in a physical confrontation. Driving his cab in the vicinity, so many people think this was a setup. Why at 3:56 a.m. was Mumia Abu Jamal just happened to be across the street as his brother drove up a one-way street. That's what he did. And many people think that they worked together to set this up because they wanted to kill a cop. I mean, Mumia Abu Jamal wanted to kill a cop. Observed in the altercation, parked and ran across the street towards Cook's car. Faulkner was shot in the back and the face. He shot, and Abu Jamal was shot in the stomach, and he was found with a gun next to him. And thus, a decades-long innocence fraud campaign is still going on for Mumia Abu Jamal. Brown University just had an exhibit of all Mumia Abu Jamal's letters, but he was tried, he was convicted, and he was on death row until all the public pressure got his sentence commuted to life in prison, where he still is, Mumia Abu Jamal. However, his brother, William Cook, is someone that you never hear from, even when his brother was on death row. Never heard a word from him. So there were strangers advocating for him, but not his own brother, who, if he was wrongfully convicted, should have been out front. Should have said, I was there that night. He didn't do it, but not a word. So in these campaigns, once again, going to repeat myself because I want my message to be heard loud and clear. Pay attention to the family members of the accused or the convicted that is not talking, because they're the ones that know a whole lot. And in this case, we have William Reed talking with his wife right next to him. Nathan Reed talking, but where's Elizabeth and Caitlin Reed? And need I remind you that of this moment, so the wiping the snow moment. Right. So there's the left taillight being wiped off. There's Caitlin watching all of it. What does she know? So once again, going back, here's Nathan wiping off the left taillight, but leaving the right one totally untouched, which is the damaged taillight. So here he is going over to the left taillight, wiping off the snow, but right taillight full of snow. What does Caitlin know? Why didn't she attend the trial? And Innocence Fraud Watch wrote actually 2 blogs, maybe more, I don't know. Going up to the top. Killer Karen Read retrial. Will Commonwealth subpoena Caitlin Boudreaux Reed, wife of brother Nathan Reed, and will she give their innocence fraud scam away? Update, October 18th, 2024. Special prosecutor Hank Brennan has indicated in court filings that he will be subpoenaing William Joseph Reed and Nathan M. Reed to give evidence during Karen Reed's second 2025 murder trial. And I would like to make a prediction right here that we're going to see a very different Nathan Reed on the stand than we see in these live streams where Nathan Reed is soliciting funds from the Free Karen Reed movement. I think he's going to be easily angered, easily riled up. And I'm predicting that the whole family, not the whole family, the mother, the father, and the brother will all lie for Karen Reed on the stand under oath if they have to. They're so committed to this. So there's Caitlin in the back. And her husband, Nathan Reed. Right? Caitlin Boudreaux Reed, the wife of Nathan Reed, brother of killer Karen Reed, only appears to have attended a couple of her sister-in-law's pre-trial hearings. Caitlin appeared absent from Karen Reed's 2024 first murder trial. Caitlin Boudreaux Reed worked at Bridgewater State University, where innocent state witness Colin Albert went to school. On January 29th, Caitlin went to the Good Samaritan Hospital with her brother Nathan Reed and his father William Reed and her father-in-law to pick up Karen Reed. The 4 of them headed to John O'Keefe's house in Canton. Around lunchtime, early afternoon, Caitlin Boudreaux Reed was caught on Ring camera in the driveway of 1 Meadows Avenue, inspecting the broken right rear taillight of her sister-in-law's SUV. What conversations were had by Nathan Reed and his wife Caitlin that morning, and what conversations have been had since? Will Caitlin come forward and do the right thing? Watch Caitlin Boudreaux Reed and her suspicious behavior below. Just played that. And so that'll just give you, have to ask the question. Certainly. So more on Nathan Reed. Let's get to his statement that's going around the internet. Certainly on X. Here we go. This was put up by Hoops McCann. And thank you to whoever sent me this. I appreciate it.
Where am I going with this? Well, Karen was a bit rambunctious, for lack of a better word.
Rambunctious. So what he's talking about is his sister's violent tendencies and how she got when she got mad or she got aggressive and physical and resorted to violence. So listen to this.
And on these rides, because she was young, she was just a toddler and stuff, and she would get tired of playing with toys in the back seat on a long ride from Virginia back to Massachusetts and back and forth, and would periodically take me and bite me in order to get my attention instead of necessarily just saying Nathan if she couldn't talk. So.
And so he's the younger brother. So he was a toddler, had to be toddler too. Little baby too. Why wasn't it so normal for him to do this kind of behavior?
Perhaps the arm marks were not from Chloe. Where am I going with this?
The arm marks. It's the sensitive language of the Reed family. As if John O'Keefe's wounds were just marks, people drawing on him. No, he just got some marks on his arms, guys. Just some marks. Just some marks. Just some marks. Could have been from my sister. Just, when she gets mad, she bites. So he's saying this a little tongue in cheek, but it's like a wink to the audience. Like, we all know that the Chloe stuff is nonsense. We're just trying to get over on the jury. We all know it's nonsense. Come on. Could have been Karen making those marks. Those marks. Those harmless marks. That's the way they think of it. Violence. Harmless marks. Also, there's also some other news. So a little bit more detail, very much contradictory about Nathan Reed. Last time we were together, talked about Nathan Reed and his criminal history. So just like to address that briefly here. Hey, Dean Walker. Thanks so much for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Nice to see you. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll show you all what is going down about Nathan Reed on X. So some people say he stole money from branches of the library. Other people say it was of the community college bookstore, many different branches. So here, crossing Aidan's line, says Nathan Reed stole money from 4 different branches of the Bristol Community College bookstore. Bravo, Reed family. You are just a bunch of low-down, dirty criminals. Free Karen Reed. Better be checking to make sure they still have their wallets if they run into that bunch at their national annoyance. So that's their standout. So Cowboy Fam says stole from 4 different libraries. I said a bookstore, the community college bookstore. Cowboy Fan seems to think it's 4 different libraries. But you can see he was paid $24,000, $962.14 of restitution. He was on what was the equivalent of probation for a while, and it was expunged from his record. So he did no jail time. So it's larceny over $250. But Boundless Millennial pointed out, this is Matt who has the Boundless Millennial channel, says, can I just click on this? Okay. I don't know why it's coming up in the corner here. Maybe I can just, there we go. Bentley's Dean's Dirty Little Secret. It's a tucking time bomb under the floorboards. I think he means ticking time bomb under the floorboards and hoping it never ticks. Charged with 2 felonies of grand larceny, Nathan Reed agreed to an admission of sufficient facts in November 2018. So this appears to be during when he was married or with Caitlin his wife that all this happened. And apparently she stuck with him. So I'll prove my point on that in a minute. Resulting in a plea deal, 2 years of continued probation without a finding. But that's not the whole story. The paperwork specifically notes that the authorities would not pursue charges in Attleboro or New Bedford, suggesting that this wasn't an isolated incident. What really happened at the bookstore? Well, at the time of the charges, Nathan Reed was the manager of a college bookstore. So Grand Larson was the manager. Here we go. A little bit more answers. Was the manager of a college bookstore. Grand larceny implies significant theft. So what exactly was taken and how extensive was the crime? If anyone knows, my email address is always in the about section of my YouTube channel if you want to write. And if the agreement not to pursue additional charges indicates a larger pattern, how many thefts went unnoticed or unreported? Here's where the timeline gets even more intriguing. In 2018, the same year he was charged with grand larceny, Nathan Reed began working at Lexus. Was he already employed there while being charged with crimes against his former employee? Did his new employer know about his pending charge? Would any reputable company hire someone with unresolved felony charges? Did connections, influence, or manipulation play in getting Nathan a new position despite his criminal past? Had to. No one's going to hire you with that past, even when you're dealing with the charges currently. Or such a recent past of theft, I would say. So correction on what I say. I think people could hire you if it was long in the distant past, but not so recently. Is Lexus somehow tied in this broader web of alleged control and cover-ups involving the Reed family? I don't know if I would call it control and cover-ups. I think they're doing the covering up, but okay. Alexis would later serve as his sister's murder weapon. The Reed family appears to have an uncanny ability to make problems disappear. And it goes on. So that's I thought pretty interesting, compelling. And what else do I have for you? I think that's it. He was arrested for felony embezzlement in 2018. So let me show you quickly some pictures of his wife taken from before that time where he's with his wife. Again, she's graduating from college. Again, they're at a wedding together. So that will tell you that they were together during the time that he was dealing with those charges. Also on the agenda, quickly, thank you to everyone who has donated to Lindsay's Give, Send, Go. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, due to infighting, and this is how it always is on either side of an innocence fraud campaign, unfortunately, there's infighting. Someone took back his $2,000 donation. So we're going backwards in raising funds to get Lindsay a lawyer to defend herself. If you don't know Aidan Kearney, the blogger who is facing 19 felony witness harassment counts related to the Karen Reed case, related to his alleged harassment of witnesses in this case. It hasn't been proved in court yet, but I think the evidence is all over the web of that. He's suing his ex-girlfriend, Lindsay Gattani, for $2 million and basically smearing her every day on the web and trying to basically it's a revenge campaign, and it's a harassment campaign that she's dealing with, and she really needs a lawyer. She's all alone out there. And I think, let me just put this in let me put the address in the chat for you guys. Hold on one second. And then I'll read out some of the comments. I recognize some of the names there as people who listen to my show. Appreciate it. So let me just share with you some of the nice comments. If you have even a little cash, every little bit helps to getting her a lawyer. So Wesley Loves Oktoberfest says, I wish you all the luck in the world and that you're vindicated. He gave $100. Thank you, Wesley Loves Oktoberfest. Lindsay Loans gave $100. Hope you can put the turtle boy behind you and move on. He's scum. Anonymous giver gave $50. Stay strong. Truth is on your side. Anonymous giver gave $5. Kitty's 1993. Thank you so much. Gave $250. Praying for you and for the truth wins. And that's where we're at. So I think Jill D gave $20. Nancy L gave $100. Lindsay, you're not alone. People care. Shelley F gave $20. Mary Ann Nizzo gave $10. Former DV victim gave $10. So appreciate everybody who gave. And please send Lindsay a little love and a little support. Link is in the description. I'll put the link in the description of this episode, and the link is in the chat. I'm going to take a quick break. When I get back, we're going to get to your comments. Also, Turtle Boy, what does it mean to walk down the road in an extreme emotional distress state? We're going to look at it. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in 1 minute.
We don't take a break. Grab a snack or maybe a glass of wine. Roberta will be back in no time. This podcast is listener supported, so smash that like button and subscribe, or become a patron for exclusive content if you are so inclined. Have something to say? Shoot Roberta a super chat. She will do her best to read it all air without delay. Now Roberta's back and ready to put the true back in true crime. Here's Roberta.
Okay. So in a recent episode, I went over Lindsay Gattani and Aidan Turtleboy Kearney's hearing. She was trying and failed to get her restraining order extended. She was defending herself without the aid of a lawyer. It wasn't really a fair fight. But here in that hearing, Aidan Kearney described sending a video of himself walking down the road in a state of distress. Take a listen.
One night I had a really bad panic attack, and I just wanted to disappear. It's hard to explain. And I started walking down the road, and in the dark, and I sent her a video of myself walking down the road in an extreme emotional distress state.
Let me stop you right there. I want to ask you about that. You heard the plaintiff say to the court that you have mental health issues. Where would you say any mental health distress that you have came from?
From her lie about being pregnant. And
now, at some point, you started to.
That started his whole downward spiral. Excuse me for laughing, but I find that laughable.
Stand up to her and break it off. Isn't that right?
Yeah, once I figured out later on in the relationship where I began to have serious doubts about the pregnancy and she couldn't answer questions for me.
All right. So he was walking down the road in an extreme state of distress. And he wanted to share this. There's actually video of this, so I wanted to share this. If my computer will cooperate. Here we go.
So I have no clue where I am. I'm on a fucking road right now. But
so Lindsay's claim was that he was threatening to end it all. And it certainly sounds like it from this clip, that this was a goodbye video.
I just wanted to say goodbye and that I love you. That's all. That's all I really wanted to say to you.
So here's a claim. So he claimed that he did this because he wanted to show her that he was in extreme emotional distress state. She claims that he was threatening to end it all. Who do you believe?
You have no idea the thoughts that go through my head. You have no fucking clue. I hear shit. I battle it constantly, and I reached out to you tonight because I really thought you were different. I really thought you were different. I was really hoping you were different. And you can't even talk to me. But I just wanted to let you know that you made the last 2 months of my life worth living. And I just can't do it anymore. But I love you. I really do. And I'm sorry.
I don't think he's capable of love. I think he's a psychopath. He doesn't ever seem to be bothered by anyone calling him a psychopath. Seems to know it. Seems to be admitting it in here. The things he deals with, he wrestles with in his head daily. You don't know how dark it gets in his head. I believe it. But I certainly believe Lindsay and her side of the story. And it's a terrible thing to be singled out, to have the most private things about your life being put on social media and be made an object of ridicule. All because you got involved with a man who is obsessed with power and control and wants to control you, and is still legally is getting his revenge through our legal system with basically these revengeful lawsuits that are about revenge, and they're also about keeping his victim in a permanent state of terror. And that's a horrible thing, to feel so alone. And that's the purpose of these campaigns, is to make you feel alone and singled out. And like it's not just Aidan Kearney that she has to deal with, but a sea of pitchforky mob going after her. So please let Lindsay know that she's not alone, that she has support out there. She will make it through this, and she certainly deserves a lawyer. That is what I have for today. Please hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, everybody.
I hit my boyfriend with my car. It wasn't an accident, but with lying lawyers I'll go far. Lying lawyers and witness harassment, I'll avoid prison. It was snowing. I pushed the pedal down, hit him hard. Now the legal system a clown. Innocence fraud campaign to save my skin. Making money, truth is my second victim. Carry, Jen, like John, you were my mom. My innocence fraud campaign is my biggest hit yet. I hit my boyfriend with my car. It wasn't an accident, but with lying lawyers I'll go far. Lying lawyers and witness harassment, I'll avoid prison. It was snowing. I pushed the pedal down, hit him hard. Now the legal system, my clown.